is up, all you action figure collectors out here? So I am back with another action figure review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the CW Collectibles Captain Cold figure based off of the Flash TV show. And this figure was released back in 2015. So here you do get that window box packaging, and on the bottom you get the title of the Flash show, and on the side you do get Captain Code, the name of the character, and it says it's figure number 2. And I have the Flash figure, which I will get into later. And here on the side we get a picture of the character, and here in the back it shows us the two figures in this wave. And once again, I already have this Flash figure, which I'm going to show later. And that's pretty much it. But you obviously know I don't like spending too much time on the package. So let's get it open and see what it's all about. Okay, so now here's what the figure looks outside of the package, along with the accessories. Alright, now first we're going to take a look at his accessories, and then we'll take a look at Mr. Leonard Snart. Okay, so now here's the accessories, what the figure comes with. So you can see he does come with 3 sets of different hands. He comes with close-fisted hands and some trigger fingers, for holding the ice gun. And he does come with some open grabby hands, and they're all just painted a solid black. And he comes with this ice gun, which I do think has really great detailing on here. Like, I really love the detailing. Like, they have a little blue on here, like to resemble it's an ice gun. And yeah, I really like the detailing on the front and on the top. I really love the silver bluish color theme to it. And you can see that there is, the area where he can hold the gun. Okay, so switching out the hands is really simple. So obviously you just pop off the hand and then place in the hand you want to replace it with. And also, if you wonder how he looks with the ice gun, at least with my figure, it's a little tricky. I don't want to force it and break it though. Alright, I got it in, but it kind of took me a little force, but he could hold it nice and tight. Okay, so now for the figure itself, I want to say that once again, DC Collectibles has done a solid job on this one, even though that this figure came back in 2015. But I want to say I really do like the paint details on him. And I think that the face sculpt kind of does have a good likeness to the actor. I'm not too familiar with the actor, so yeah. Also, I do like how they've painted on the the furry type on his hood. And just like the Green Arrow figure, it is like a separate piece, and you could pull it down if you want to review more of the head, but it can't really stay down, it just pops back on. But yeah, I really love how they painted on the glasses. They tend to be a metallic blue, and also you can see that he's wearing a sweater underneath the jacket, obviously because he's working with something very cold. And But yeah, his sweater is some kind of plain black. And I do like how they painted the blue on his coat, on his outside coat, and and it does feel like a separate piece. I I think if you want to, you could take it off, but the sleeves will be left on. And yeah. Also, I do like how they painted some device on here. It's made out of some rubber material. Like, and the jacket is made out of rubber material, obviously. And also, the pants look nice on. The pants look nice on him. Like, I kind of do like how they have the wrinkles on it, and on the back of the figure, there's not really much. And I do really like how they did the boots here. His ankles kind of look skinny, but whatever. Like, that's not important. But like, yeah, I do like how they painted on the boots. The laces are sculpted on nice. And also on the bottom, you can see he has some kind of Timberland type. And yeah, I think DC Collectibles has done a great job, but not necessarily say if this will be one of my favorite Legion of Doom. One of my favorite Legion of Doom figures that I've owned so far. Right now, we're going to get into the articulation. Okay, so now for the articulation, it's, I guess I will say is decent enough, but I wish he kind of had enough where you can, while he's holding the ice gun, you can get him in two-handed poses where he's holding his ice gun with both hands, but he can hold it. I'm pretty sure he was shown shooting it with one hand as well, but without looking into the hood, he could look left and right. He could look down about that much, but can't really look up. The arms could come out really good. He could also rotate at the arms. He does not have no bicep swivel, but could rotate here at the arm. Single hinge elbow, so he could bend the elbow about that much, which is kind of lacking. Like, I guess maybe you could fix that with a hair dryer or any custom technique. But yeah, the mine are really stiff. And he does have a wrist swivel, and he does have hinges on the hands, but he does not have no midsection joints at all. No ab crunch or no upper waist swivel. He could kick forward at the leg pretty decently, but he can only kick back about that much. He does have a thigh cut swivel, so he could bend at the thighs. And he could do the splits pretty good, which I find disappointing that he can do the splits better than the Flash. And double jointed knees, so he could bend at the knees pretty much about that much, but no big deal. They could still move good. He does have a boot cut, and he does have hinges on the feet, so good up and down movement. And he kind of has ankle pivot, but I don't know, it really won't budge. I'm not sure if it's just my figure. And he has 2 pack holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so size comparison time. So now here is him standing next to both Flash figures I have in my collection. On the left, we have the CW Flash, which is in the same universe as him. And on the right, we have the DCEU 2017 DC Multiverse Mattel Flash figure. And I will say that he does scale in nicely with them. He looks a little bit taller with the hood, but I will say that the scaling still works. But yeah, he'll look good fighting either Flash, in my opinion. And also, here is him standing next to some other CW figures that I own, which is the DC Collectibles Season 2 Arrow figure on the left, and on the right, we have the Season 1 Canary figure on the right. And once again, I'll say the scaling still works. And also, here is him standing next to the world's finest of my universe, the DC Multiverse Mattel regular suit Justice League Batman, and the BVS Mattel San Diego Comic Con exclusive Superman figure. And also, here's him standing next to a DC Multiverse Mattel 2018 Aquaman movie Aquaman figure and the 2017 Justice League Wonder Woman figure. And also, here is him standing next to a DC Collectibles CW Supergirl Martian Manhunter figure and a DC Icons Hal Jordan Green Lantern figure. And as always, if you wonder how he scales with your Marvel Legends, here is him standing next to the Core 4 Avengers. And also, here is him standing next to two of my absolute favorite Legion of Doom figures in my collection. On the left, we have the DC Essentials Cheetah, and on the right, we have the DC Multiverse Mattel Aquaman movie Black Manta figure. And last but not least, here is him standing next to the rest of his Legion of Doom teammates that I have so far, or what I would call in my eyes an incomplete Legion of Doom. And so far, it looks like it's coming together. Like, I now finally got Captain Code, and now who I'm planning on getting next is Bizarro, which I shouldn't have a hard time getting my hands on. And I also still need to get Solomon Grundy, and then I would pretty much have all the members that will have me satisfied to call them the Legion of Doom. And I will say he surprisingly scales in nice with all of them, even though he's kind of a bit too tall. I mean, not because I'm agreeing with those who call this a 7-inch line. It's a 6-inch line, but he kind of seems a little bit on the tall side with other figures in this line. Like, I kind of feel like he should have been, like, I don't know, at least the same height or a little bit shorter than the Flash. But yeah, I really love how my Legion of Doom is coming together so far. And now I'm about to track down Bizarro next. And I have noticed that my Legion of Doom kind of, oh yeah, and I still need to upgrade this Joker. And I have noticed that so far my Legion of Doom kind of looks like the new 52, the new 52 style, which is kind of the look I'm going for. But yeah, but that's my incomplete Legion of Doom so far. Okay, so now that wraps it up for this review. So my final thoughts on this figure, I will say that this is a really nice looking figure, paint detail wise, but articulation wise, it could have used a lot work, but hey, this is at a period when DC Collectibles was starting to improve in articulation. But I could say I can recommend him. Like the biggest complaint is that I kind of wish he he had better arm articulation where you could put him in a two-hand fire pose. But once again, I would recommend this figure. He is pretty cheap on eBay. He is pretty cheap on eBay, and he kind of is a little bit on the tall side, even for his own line. But in my opinion, but but I'll definitely still recommend him if you're a fan of the Flash TV series, or just the Flash in general, or you're a fan of Captain Cold. And yeah, and I think he's a great addition to my Legion of Doom that I'm trying to build up. Okay, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, give your thoughts in the comments below, and let me know if there's any improvements I need to do in my videos. That way I know if I'm doing something right or not. Now this is Super Kal-El signing off.